Welcome to Cursive Lesson 1. So this is a time where we're working on our writing standard having to do with cursive to help us also practice writing in cursive. I have the directions written in cursive, and it says trace each letter, so that means we have to go over it first, and use the dots provided, these dots here, to practice writing each letter. Now with cursive, the point of cursive is to do smooth movements without lifting your pencil. I'm using a pen because a pencil's too light to show on the recording very well, but you should be using pencil because if you make a mistake you can erase it and try again. With pen you end up having to scribble. But we want those nice, smooth movements, no lifting of the pen or pencil. It comes from a long time ago when they'd have those long quill pens or any pens that they'd have to dip in ink, because if they had to lift each time with each letter, it would dribble across and leave a mess. It's also, once you get fluent in it, it's a very quick way to be able to write. But there's some important things. Being able to read cursive and to write your name in cursive is very important. So we're going to start. Notice we are not starting in alphabetical order with the letter A. We're going to start with some of the easier letters to form, and then we're going to progress to the more challenging ones. So today we're starting with letters I and T. So here the arrow shows us where we're going to begin. We begin on the dot. So you start on the dot and you make a smooth movement up to that dotted middle line. So it should go all the way up, but don't go past. Go back down that line, curve toward the bottom line. Do not go below it, but it should be right on that line, and then up. And then once you're done forming the word, then you go back and add your jot. So we do it again. Start on the dot. Smooth movement all the way up. Should be at a slight slant. Go back down that line. Touch the line. Curve up. And dot. After we've practiced all the letters, we're going to practice words so that you can practice forming the letters together. Okay, so on the dot. Smooth movement all the way up to that middle dotted line, back down to the bottom line and up, and then add your jot. Last one to trace. So now let's try to do it starting from the dot and see if you can make eyes that look like this. So you start on the dot at a slight angle, so not straight up. You go up to that dotted line, do not go past it. Now you're going to go back down that line you made, then curve down to the bottom line, up, because it's going to connect to another letter. Add your jot. Let's try another one. So you're going to go up, back down, curved around, and jot. Let's try another one. Up, back down. Shouldn't go straight down. You shouldn't have like a carrot going on here. You're going to make sure you go back down that line, curve, and jot. Okay, last dot here. Up, down, jot. Okay, so if you struggled a little bit on those because it's your first time writing cursive, we're going to practice tracing some more and do it again, and hopefully these 4 will look better than the ones that you have up here, just with some more practice. I'm going to start on the dot, up, trace up, back down the line, and up. Okay. Go trace up the line, back down, up. We go up the line, back down, and up. Up, back down, and up. Now I know this is a little different with printing because we're starting at the bottom of a letter, and usually when you print you start near the top of it. So it may be a little adjustment. So let's try some more without. Now that we've traced some more, start up, go at a slight angle, shouldn't be going straight up, back down that line, make a little tail, jot, go up to that middle line, back down, little tail, okay, so back, slight angle, slight slant there, back down, little tail, jot, and last one on this side, okay, slant, that slight angle, back down, tail, and jot. So even for mine, even though I've been writing in cursive for a while, this row is definitely better than my first one. Alright, now we're going to move on to the letter T, which is very similar to I, but we're going to go a little bit past, not all the way to the top line, but a little bit past, and we're going to have that crossbar. Again, we wouldn't cross it until we get to the end of the word, but we're only doing letters right now. So again, we're going to start at that dot, trace all the way past, but not all the way to the top, still going at an angle, back down, and then up. We're going to cross it. We're going to go up, back down that line, make that tail, and we cross it. Okay, do that smooth line all the way up, back down, and then up, and cross. Smooth line up, back down, tail, and cross. Okay, so now we're going to try some. Since we finished tracing, start at the jot. I'm going to go to slight angle or slant. Do not go all the way up to the line, but make sure you're going past this dotted line. Go back down, make a tail, and cross. Make sure that you're getting near that bottom line before you curve around. Don't start it up here, because then you end up having a caret in the middle of your T that's pointing up. Okay, so slight slant up, back down, smooth motion, tail, and then cross. Okay, slight angle or slant. Do not go all the way to the top line, but go past the middle dashed line, back down that line, tail, and cross. Then our last one, up, back down, tail, cross. Okay, so let's do a few more practice, see if we can improve on these T's that we did. I'm going to trace, up, back down, tail, cross, up, back down, tail, cross, up, back down the same line, tail, cross, up, back down, tail, and cross. Now let's try some more on our own. Up, back down, tail, and cross. down, tail, and cross, up, back down, tail, cross, up, back down, tail, and cross. Okay, so now I'd like you to practice on the other side on your own, your letter I and your letter T. And once you're done with that, you are done with lesson 1 of our cursive letters. Thank you for joining me.